What you're about to watch is my reaction to last week's chapter that aired on Rooster Teeth's site that you can go watch for yourself and then come back here to see my reaction to it. Thank you so much for watching and enjoy the reaction. Welcome back to some more RWBY Volume 5, Chapter 7. Oh my gosh, I can't wait. I've been, while I'm uploading Chapter 6 up to YouTube right now, I've been watching a couple reactions for that episode. Given a bunch of YouTubers that I've been keeping up to date with and everything. I still have a bunch to watch though because there's a lot of RWBY reactors. Yeah, last episode was really cool. So I'm hoping some cool stuff's not gonna happen here. The actual title is called Rest and Resolution. So I'm hoping it's basically gonna be rest for Yang and Weiss for sure because they've had a hell of a run. And RWBY, I guess, and Team Ranger and everything. So definitely rest for them. I hope Yang and Weiss talk to Crow and actually get his side of the story and maybe a different insight on everything and how he thinks and Ozpin talk to Ozpin and all that kind of stuff. Oh my gosh, I hope this episode is freaking cool. It's about 11 minutes long. Actually, how long is it with yeah, it's about like 12:48. So minus the opening, which is what is it again? It's like a minute long. Minute and a half long. Alright. Without further ado, I'm hyped. Let's do this.
You were totally freaked out and without even thinking about it.
Jeez. Nice.
How do you lose your map at a time like that?
Believe me, I've asked myself the same thing ever since.
Well, he threw it.
Hey, but you made up for it, Mr. Muscles. You should have seen this guy take a giant Grim head-on.
I couldn't have done it without RWBY wearing it down.
Me? Did you see Ren during that fight? He was out of control.
I'm sorry. I may have lost my temper momentarily.
No, and out of control isn't awesome.
Oh. Thank you.
You did not.
Yeah, right in the middle of the party. Please tell me you let that lady have it.
Of course not.
Even if I did really want to.
Exactly.
No way. I don't believe it.
She can just do it at will now, which is great. I love that. More practice is good.
It's no replacement for the real thing. But I'll make sure to make good use of it.
Nice.
That's amazing. Incredible.
RWBY's probably like, yeah, exactly.
Just as strong?
Sure is.
Wanna bet?
Oh my gosh.
Please, now's not the time.
Perfect time.
Come on, you can do this.
do it.
Show what Team Juniper is made of.
Come on, sis! Oh, you can't lose to a girl in a skirt.
You got this, Nora.
You wear a skirt, Ruby.
Yeah.
Why is he not cheering loud enough? It definitely feels like the original. I'll give you that.
Yep. But it does have some new features.
Oh, yeah?
Think of rockets. You can shoot it back at her? What
Did
the
she
heck?
Win?
I don't know. Jesus Christ. That's cool. I should just like shoot it like.
Oh, I think I'm gonna be sick.
Easy there, Vomit Boy. I believe in you.
Oh, we're doing nickname throwbacks now. Wonderful.
Yeah.
I mean, the Ice Queen seems to like it.
Oh damn.
I so did not miss you people.
Oh my gosh, she really does like it. What went and warmed your heart while you were gone?
Hey, you make it sound like I used to be terrible.
Nah, just a lot to deal with at once.
So where's Crow at?
It's been a long time. We've all grown in our own ways.
You really think so?
Well,
Yeah.
think back to when we were all at Beacon. Would you say you ever did anything foolish or embarrassing? Or do you think you were perfect?
Oh gosh.
I may have been a little too gung-ho from time to time.
You? I tried to 1v1 a Nevermore on the second day of school.
That's very true.
Yeah, well, don't even get me started.
Well, that embarrassment, that desire to go back and tell yourself not to be so stupid, that just proves you're not the same person you used to be.
Indeed.
You're smarter, or kinder, or stronger, and you're not done growing yet. None of us are.
Yeah, it turns out Ren gets real deep when he feels like talking.
For real, yeah.
Well, hold
Yep, yep.
on. I thought I was pretty great in school.
Even at the dance, when you spilled punch all over yourself in front of...
Yes, especially the dance. Thank you, Yang.
How can
Never
6
saw that.
kids possibly make so much noise eating dinner?
Introduce yourself. Ozpin. This Ozpin mode?
So, the maidens, magic, Salem, it's all true?
Miss Zhao Long, is this more or less what your mother told you?
Kinda.
For the most part.
Yeah.
You forgot
Kinda.
something. You forgot to tell everyone what you did to Crow and my mother.
What is she talking about?
Crows and
right.
ravens.
That's not a secret I thought she would give up so easily. Your mother must trust you a great deal. My ability to reincarnate, though a curse, isn't without a few key benefits. Much like the maidens, I too possess a certain magical power. Using this power, I was able to gift the Bronwyn twins the ability to see more, to move freely and be unburdened by their natural bodies. Well, gave them the ability to turn into birds. Rather ridiculous sounding out loud, isn't it?
Wait, what? Uncle?
You turn them into birds.
I want him to turn into a bird right now.
You're just messing with us.
Nope.
What else is new?
He's telling the truth. We saw it. Yang's mom changed right in front of us.
Why would you do something like that? I mean, what is wrong with you?
Yang.
It's not a
that's
bad
enough.
thing, right?
We made a choice. We wanted this.
May I? Granting this power to them was no trivial task, and I can assure you
I
it
bet.
was not done frivolously. I required assistance in gathering information on Salem's plans, as well as searching for maidens when their hosts became unclear.
Okay, so have you done this with others? Like General Ironwood or Professor Goodwitch?
As helpful as that might be, unfortunately, it is not that simple.
Yeah.
My power is finite, and if I'm being honest, dwindling. The amount that I gifted to Crow and Raven was, all things considered, rather minuscule. You see, centuries ago, I sacrificed a great deal of magic to 4 young women, who I hoped would use my gift for good.
Oh, snap!
They were the first maidens.
He's the old man! Oh my god, okay, that's a theory.
Miss
That's...
Zhao Long, it was never my intention to lie to you. To any of you.
Nice!
There are just some matters that I prefer to play close to the chest. I believe that's how you phrased it.
Yeah.
Everyone has a choice. The Bronwyns chose to accept their powers and the responsibilities that came with them. And later, one of them chose to abandon her duties in favor of her own self-interest. Now,
Her tribe.
all of you have a choice. If anyone wishes to leave, now is the time. There is no shame or disgrace in abstaining. Only in retreat.
Don't think anyone is gonna leave.
Very well then.
I hope. Ooh.
Yang?
If Ruby sticks around, then I will too. If there's one thing I know about her, it's that she somehow always knows the right thing to do. But if we're going to help, if we're going to keep risking our lives, no more lies. No more half-truths.
They never lied to you, really. Really, have they? They just didn't say
Understood.
why they did certain things. Half-truths, yes.
So, what now? I mean, what can we do?
That is a difficult question. One that I believe is best answered tomorrow.
What do you mean?
The road ahead is undoubtedly filled with hardships and peril. However, it has been far too long since you have all been together. Please, take tonight. Enjoy this moment.
Oh! Raven? Crow? They're birds! Cracked it.
Yep. Welcome to like the first episode that they were introduced. Oh snap!
Is Raven Bronwyn home?
You know, I've had a real bad week. So I think I'm gonna take it out on you.
Nope. Should not do that.
Doesn't look like he wants to cooperate, boss.
Then make him.
I was hoping you'd say that.
Oh gosh, this guy's having a bad week for sure. Damn. Well, that's next episode for sure. Oh, that's a cool concept art. Camp exterior. Fancy. This is a cool episode. Much needed. Rice tofu. Nice. That scene was awesome. I love like the reminiscing. Very, very cool. Noodle bowl. The different layers like going down, 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 down. Top down scale. Very cool. Yeah. A much needed episode. And like I actually like this because like in past seasons or past volumes, they I'm trying to like find a picture where I can actually hold the arm. No, that's pretty far. That's fine. I'll hold there. In past volumes, we've always took a break after chapter 6. And it was always like the Remnant or like just like off for the week kind of thing. In past volumes, that was the case. But this episode, in a way, is like that. It's like an off episode, but it's just like them kind of reminiscing and catching up and like telling stories of their adventure, whether while they've been away since volume 3. Because like I said, they have not been together since volume 3, like the ending of volume 3. Or the beginning of volume 4, where we're well, no, because they were gone way before that because there was this time skipped, a couple of months time skip. But yeah, they've been gone for a long time. So tons of great stories, like Remnant, like stuff we already know of. But like the losing the map and what was the other ones they were talking about? They were talking about like a lot of stuff, like the Weiss and the Barbotusk summon at the party, that kind of thing, which is very, very cool. Like stuff that we know, but everybody else doesn't know. And I love how they're acknowledging that, because a lot of animes, or I should say, a lot of TV shows and that kind of stuff, you sometimes overmiss that some characters shouldn't know like everything, right? Like they always like overlook the whole explaining bit like of characters and how they're told of certain information. Like for instance, last episode or chapter 6, Weiss and Yang were introduced to the whole fact about Salem. But we've known about Salem since friggin' Volume 4, because of what Crow told Ranger and everything. So like it's interesting to see that aspect, like Yang and Weiss like getting introduced to that. Blake still does not know about Salem. Blake still does not know about the Grimm and the Queen, the Grimm's Queen or whatever we call them. And they does not know about Cinder. Does not. Well, I'm sure she knows about Cinder and she caused it and everything, but she's more focused on Adam and the White Fang. She's kind of all but forgotten or as blanked out to the fact that Cinder and Mercury and Emerald and whatever them caused the Battle of Beacon. But she does not know about Salem or the group or anything. She's focused heavily on the White Fang, which I guess in turn is a good thing because Team Ranger and the rest of Team RWBY and everything are focusing on Salem and not the White Fang. And the White Fang needs to be addressed because they're being controlled by Salem as well. So in a way, Blake is in the background, like helping the second faction that Salem has with the White Fang and everything, kind of deal with them, and then potentially join up with the rest to fight Salem when time comes, kind of thing. It's really cool that they actually confirmed that Ozpin is the old man in the Maiden story. That was a theory like back when it was first introduced, kind of thing. People were like, "Oh, it's got to be Ozpin," like all that kind of stuff. But back then, like there was no evidence to really prove anything. It was always kind of like hearsay, kind of theories and everything. But it's very cool that it's actually like confirmed. Like it's like it's a thing. Because back then nobody thought about the fact of the old man being like old and like all that kind of stuff, and Ozpin being young and everything like that. People always considered him being able to control time, like his own time kind of thing, like time manipulation for his body to turn back his clock to like stay young kind of stuff. And then there's a couple other theories too that was with Ozpin when we first kind of introduced to that sort of stories and myths and that kind of stuff, legends. But yeah, it's really cool that they actually confirmed 100% Ozpin was the old man that gifted the maidens the gifts of the seasons, and that was a significant portion of his magic power. So that's really interesting because that means that Ozpin was at one point a shut-in and down on his luck. Like the old man in the story was always in his house. He never left his house. He was never really happy. He was never like he was all this kind of stuff like in the story. So that means like at some point in Ozpin's lives, he was like just like down on his luck. He was just depressed and like all this kind of stuff. And then these 4 girls came into his life and showed him the glory of basically like being with family and friends, that kind of thing, meditating when needed, but otherwise going outside and enjoying life, that kind of thing, and many more seasonal stuff. And they all showed him that, and in turn he gave the maidens the gifts of magic and everything, because they were true of heart, basically. So that's really, really cool. So effectively, yeah, so he basically gave a part of him to the 4 girls, because with Ozpin, he transfers to a like-minded individual. I think potentially just a young boy, basically. But when he transferred the magic to the maidens, it shifted to boys to girls. So the maidens are only women, and Ozpin is only male, kind of thing. So Ozpin transfers through the males, and the maidens transfers through the girls, kind of thing. And that makes perfect freaking sense, because it's exactly what Ozpin's power is exactly what the maiden's power is. Because the maidens, when they die, they transfer gifts to a young male, or young female, sorry, to be used, and then when they pass on or whatever, they get distributed basically among everybody. In the final thoughts and everything like that, I'm wondering if that might be a cause. I don't think Ozpin truly knew Oscar. I think his gift was just kind of thrown at a random individual who was like-minded, kind of thing. Because Ozpin always said, like, with the maidens, like, they were just in the final thoughts of the maiden is the one who gets the gift, kind of thing. But Ozpin, or Oscar, doesn't know Ozpin. Like, he might know, like, just like his face, from a brochure or something like that, but I doubt they ever met. So it does stand to reason that, like, that was a random jump, like Ozpin jumping to somebody at random because he didn't have anybody in his final thoughts, kind of thing. So it makes freaking perfect sense now. That whole thing. So I hope Yang kind of understands what's happening and realizes that her mom was in a way trying to get in her head. I mean, a lot of what she said was actually fact. She should always question. She shouldn't just blindly, like, accept everything, kind of thing. But you need to kind of just roll with it at times and not just, like, question it, because otherwise you'd be there for, like, ever trying to explain the entire freaking situation to them, and which really shouldn't be needed or like that in certain situations. But anyways, fantastic freaking episode. I am super freaking happy with it so far. Like I said, this is a cool little rest and resolutions. Just like a cool, just chilling out, enjoying each other's company, kind of thing, telling stories, catching up on things and everything, and that's really, really cool. I love Yang's arm bit where she shot the arm at Nora. That was really funny. It reminds me of the food fight with the turkeys in her hand, when she's like, she punched and then the turkey like flew off her hand, kind of thing. Reminds me of just like that. So I'm wondering if at some point during a fight she can do that, where like she'll punch with her arm, and then at the moment of, like, lock or whatever, the arm shoots out like a rocket and just like shoots out, not a rocket, but like just like cannons out basically to punch somebody from far away. So the bad thing is with that is I don't think you can get it back easily. It's not a boomerang. You can't just like toss it out and just like expect it to come back to you and like catch it and like put it on again. So she'll probably have to go chase it down if that's the case. But I enjoyed this episode. This episode was really fun. So yeah, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next chapter. Chapter next week. Take care, everybody.